Hey, hey.
Okay, sorry about that. How are you? Hope everyone's well. Aw, hello, my darling. How are you? How are you? Oh, how are you? How are you? Oh, that's weird. Hold on. Oh, that's weird. Hold on. Oh, that's weird. Hold on. All right. Is that better? Any other interference? Hopefully, no. No, all right. There it is. Is that better? Any other interference? Hopefully, no. No, right. There it is. Is that better? Any other interference? What about now? Let me know. What about now? No. Let me know. What about now? No. All right. So just be patient with me just a second. Let me know. What about
Okay, let's try it now. Let me know if you hear an echo. Okay, let's try it now. Let me know if you hear an echo. Okay. Okay, let's try it now. Let me know if you hear an echo. Okay. That is so weird. All right, give me a second while I fiddle around. Thank you for being here and thank you for your patience. We're gonna be working on gratitude today. It feels like yesterday was Halloween and like now we're already thinking about Thanksgiving. Like now we're already thinking about Thanksgiving. Cha! I think I fixed it. That was so weird. Oh my gosh. Okay, so sorry about that. I'm gonna wait for the chat to come up. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. It is good to see you. And okay. My chat is gone. There it is. Okay. All right. Okay. So I had all of this ready, but apparently no. It was not going to work out for me. So that's okay. We'll do it again. There we are. Okay, so I know that Desiree is here. She's driving and listening. So be careful on your way home. Misu, how are you? I thought you were working on your studies. Ashish, it's good to see you. Hi. Thank you for being here. YY Gamer, hi, how are you? Aussie Chris, good day, mate. How are you doing? Mercury at it again. Yes, I don't understand. Oh no, what happened? All right, so I'm gonna light my candle. This, okay, dried lavender and oak. Oh, hi, Sharbetti. How are you? How are you? I have my candle going. I was having some sound situations today. That was really weird. But I think we're all set now. And then, okay, so let me see. Oh, shoot. You could. All right, I didn't know that you could like zoom in, but you can. That's pretty cool. Okay, the sound is coming through okay. You know what? I was gonna turn on this. Hold on.
Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Awesome. Okay. So I've been doing live readings a few weeks in a row. So what I was hoping to do was take a little bit of a break today, and I'm doing a video response. And this is a video response to Moonflower Moments, and it's hashtag my gratitude decks. And I really like this because, in essence, it's asking us to slow down and really think about the decks that we have, why we have them, why we use them, why we enjoy them. And so she's given us a list of 12 prompts, and we're going to be going through those today. So I am going to, can I shimmy this? Can I shimmy? Okay. All right. I don't know, like my setup is usually just fine, and then today I'm having like all kinds of um, issues. So I feel like I want to move the camera just a little bit. So let me see if I can even do that. Can I even? Yes. All right. So, necessity is the mother of invention. Hold, please. There. Is that better? Okay. You got a close up of my face. Yeah, I didn't know you could zoom. And the other day I was live with Constance and I saw her like, "Woo," and I was like, no way. I thought it is what it is. So I just went to the screen and it worked. So that's better because now I can see, and I can see the comments too. Using books for what they are. For elevating. That's right, Chris. That's right. Books are not just for shelves, okay? They're for other things. Okay, so let's jump into it. So, again, we're talking about gratitude here. I am going to start with prompt number 1. So, this is a deck that has kind of stood by your side even through the darkest moments, like a big sister, a big brother, right? And for me, this is the deck that came to mind. Okay. And this is my Ember and Aura. Now, I don't show this one on my channel very much. Ember and Aura. This is the Awakening edition, and this one is out of print. I love this deck. This is a deck that I use for my own like spiritual readings. But it's also for me very connected to the divine feminine, and I don't know, to spirit, to source, to God, to the all knowing, to the universe. Like, that's kind of how I feel about this deck. In fact, the creator of this deck channeled it over the course of a weekend at a retreat. And I loved this deck and I wanted it, and I couldn't find this version, right? The Awakening edition was a special one that had a lot more pinks in it. And, you know, the card backs are pink, and then the edges, of course, are like awesome. Uh, and I couldn't find it. So at the end, I traded for it. I don't remember what I traded. Karen Suki, am I late? No, you're never late. I don't know what I traded for this deck. Maybe Darkness of Light, maybe. I don't remember, but yeah, I love this deck and I have a connection to this deck, and like I said, I use it only for spiritual readings, and this is a deck that I don't use for anyone else. Like, I only use this for myself. Um And I don't even know how I just came to that decision, but I did. I feel like this deck is, I do feel like it's been by my side in hard moments, in dark moments. It always gives me the answer. It's always very grounded, and it aligns very well with my own spiritual beliefs. It's kind of like what I would call minimalistic in terms of artwork. You know, some people criticize the deck because all the figures are like bone thin, but you know, that's how they created the deck. And, you know, I was aware of that. I still wanted it. So, yeah, this is my Ember and Aura, the Awakening edition. And because it's called the Awakening, um, there's a special card in here. Look at this one. The Hierophant looks just like Jesus. And you can see the Holy Spirit right above. It's so cool. But this deck has a special card, like an extra card, and it's called the Awakening. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Watch it be the last one. Watch it be the last one. I guess I wasn't kidding. Oh my gosh, it was the next to last. Here it is. That's the Awakening card. Isn't that badass? I love that card. Hey Fatima, how are you? Nancy, no, how are you? Hi, welcome, and thank you for being here. Yeah, this card is amazing. This card says like diva, it says power. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna read the guidebook on that one so you can get an idea of what that one stands for. And that card is only in this deck. The other version of the deck was more like earth tone the colors, and it had um a different card. So here, let me show it to you and I'll read it. Do you feel it? Something inside has awakened, a knowing. This knowing has long been a part of you. Awakening removes the blindfold of denial. You can no longer be blind to the truth. When its signs of life begin to stir, you may feel a discomfort, even fear. You must remember this is the small self, struggling for boundaries, struggling to stay where it's safe, but the awakening is here, and your higher self knows that you are ready. You're ready to use your voice to take a stand, to be an agent of change. No more hiding. You are a part of the great awakening. Isn't that awesome, Karen? Oh, you like the nail polish? It matches the cards. I didn't plan that. It just happened that way. I know the edges are like super cool. And then the backs have a lot of like detail. So yeah, that's my Ember and Aura. And again, I only use this one for myself and I don't show it on the channel very often because it's out of print and you know, it's not, if somebody sees it and they want it, it's harder to find, right? So that is that. Oh, Teresa, hi, how are you? It's good to see you. It is good to see you. You just had to mess it up, Jimmy Martin. Ciao. Ciao. All right. There we go. Okay, so we'll move on to prompt number 2. And this is a deck that has told you the hardest truths. The hardest truths. And I don't know, maybe this is not going to be a surprise, but for me, it's this deck. This is my soul deck. I keep it in this cool firefly bag. I love fireflies. And this is Tarot of Mystical Moments. I had an instant connection to this deck when I first got it. And at first, when I saw it, I was like, God, that deck is so weird. But it was so fascinating at the same time. And look at this 10 of Cups card. I feel like that is so cool. I loved it. The collage style in here is amazing. And this deck, I always feel like it helps me open up my mind, maybe like remove the borders and see the bigger picture and really tap into my intuition. And because of that, I read with this deck in a completely different way than any of my other decks. And this was probably the first deck that I ever used for a reading where the reading like hit me. It hit me like a pile of bricks. And the first deck to bring me to tears. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, where you do a reading and you look at the cards, and then all of a sudden it slowly becomes clear the message that is trying to come through. And I always say this deck, she's never mean. She isn't. You know, some decks are like, you feel like they just want to come and slap you upside the head. This deck isn't like that, but it is going to tell you what you need to know. It's going to be kind, right? But it's not going to hold back. This deck is just stunning. Look at that one. Yeah. Ace of Swords. I mean, how's that? I feel like this card is so cool. Wouldn't it have been cool to live in those times, like with those skirts and those cute hairdos? How fun. Seven of Pentacles. I don't know. It's just such a great deck. Yeah, this one is really beautiful. The color palette and images are so clean. Yeah, I've had a reading like that too. Yes, where it's so deeply profound that you're like, oh my God. Good thing I'm alone. I've had those moments. So yeah, that is a deck that has given me the hardest truths. And that's my tarot of mystical moments. I toss them over to the side when I'm done. And then later on, after the live, I have like this big mess of decks to take care of. Okay, so Karen says, I had an instant and amazing connection to the Mystical Moments Oracle. I know you said that, and I thought about getting it, to go with the deck. I thought about it. I totally thought about it. Wonderful for women and for connecting to nature. Yeah. Yeah, because isn't it like a botanicals? I think it's a botanical deck. I love the softness of it. It's awesome. Okay. So we will move on to prompt number 3. So this is going to be a deck that gave you language for your feelings. And for me, this was like very clear. I didn't have to think about it. It's the Reclaim Oracle. This is one of those decks that is like not the most attractive deck out there. And it's also monochromatic, right? Not monochromatic, but minimal color palettes, pink and black. And I saw this deck and everyone was just like carrying on about it. Those are the card backs. It's a fat deck, okay? And I was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know why people like are carrying on so much about this deck. And I kept feeling like this tug of war inside with my higher self. Get it, get it. And I was like, no, I don't like it. That's weird. No, get it, get it. And it kept showing up for me. The deck kept showing up for me. And one day, I think I was on the creator's Instagram page, and she had some decks where the deck was okay, but the box was damaged. And she called them like oopsie decks or something like that. And so she was selling them at a discount. And I went ahead and I picked it up, and this was the best thing that I could have done for myself. And that's because, you know, I grew up in a household where we didn't really talk about feelings. And I didn't have very many words to describe my feelings. I had like happy, sad, angry, mad, the basics. And when you grow up like that, it makes it really hard to express emotion later on in life, right? As an adult, it makes it hard to express emotion because you get frustrated and you feel a certain kind of way, but you don't know what to call it. So it makes it really hard to work through it. And when I got this deck, everything changed. I don't use this deck like, most people, right? Uh, Oftentimes people will take the deck, they'll shuffle it, they'll pull a card, or do a spread with it and then formulate a reading. I don't do that. When I'm feeling heavy emotion and I'm having a hard time articulating or putting words on it because maybe there's a mix of emotions that I'm feeling at the same time and it's hard for me to compartmentalize them, right? I get this deck and I go through the cards one by one and I pull out the cards that I'm like, yeah, that one. And then I'll go through a few more. Yeah, yeah, that one too. And I'll make a little pile. And then when I have that, I pull all of the cards and I, put them in front of me, lay them in front of me. And that is how I work through them. And then I go to the guidebook and I read and I explore the feelings. And I have found this practice to be so helpful, so helpful. And of course I've used this for readings and for other people, but when I need it, that's how I use it. I use it to help me kind of like put a face to the name. It's such a powerful deck. And I have one of the older versions of it. There's a newer version that has even more cards in it. But since this is such a healthy size deck, I felt like I was okay with just this one. I didn't feel like I needed to go and get, another version of it. This one is so good. And that's basically what it is. It's all about feelings. Feelings and emotions, big ones, little ones, um, positive ones, not so positive ones, the ones that you want to hide, the ones that make you feel like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed or ashamed. They're all in here. So that's why I say that for me, this deck is one that gave me a language for my feelings, which is something that I didn't have before. And that is my Reclaim Oracle deck. I love this deck. The cardstock on this is so good. It's pretty awesome. And you know that I recently put these shelves here with the decks. So I keep tarot decks over there. I also keep oracle decks. But here at my reading table, I have a little chest. And in that chest, I keep my favorite decks. On my table, I have my working decks. And then over here, I have a little shelf where I keep the oracle decks that I use all the time. And that's where this one lives. This one lives here. So I can access it whenever I need it. So that is the Reclaim. Oh, Ascending Universal Butterfly. Hi, how are you? Maria, how are you? Welcome in. Coco Chanel. Oh, that's cool. Hi, how are you? Thank you for being here. Awesome. If this is your first time, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing. Today I'm doing a video response to a hashtag, but usually every other week I come online and we do readings together. And we usually have a lot of fun. It's a great community here and you're welcome. If you feel like you're hanging out and you kind of like it, consider subscribing and then come back when we're doing readings too. Although you're welcome to hang out today as well. Okay, so let's go on to prompt number 4. This is the deck that opened my eyes to what I could be. Open my eyes to what I could be. So I chose the lovely Om for this one because this deck, first of all, it's stunningly beautiful. And I got it originally because I wanted to learn more about this culture and this the spirituality behind these cards. But I ended up finding the deck to just pull you right in. The guidebook was written so well. And every time you pull a card, it doesn't matter. It could be a good card, a bad card. Um, every time you pull a card, there's a lesson in the guidebook for you to learn. And so I feel like with this deck, it does open my eyes to look at things in a completely different way or from a different perspective. Now, this is a deck that features a lot of different deities, and I enjoy that because I like to learn. And the other thing is this deck is a thought-based deck. So it is a little bit different than my other decks. It involves a lot of the chakras. So if you're the type of person that likes to work with chakras, then this deck is helpful for that. Look at that card. There's a lot of flowers in this deck. There's a lot of lotuses, a lot of like even here, this is a garden of flowers, but if you look closely, there's some fairies in there as well. It's just, and the artwork is stunning. The cardstock is stunning. Look at this card. I forget this goddess's name. If anybody in the chat knows, drop it in because it's the coolest. And of course, this is a thoth-based deck. So strength and justice are reversed. So you can see here, strength is card number 11. And here we have the devil. I don't know. I mean, look at the Prince of Wands. Holding on. Holding on for dear life. It's so great. I really like this. And I feel like this deck helps me to see things in a bigger way. Hey Levi, how are you? I'm not actually doing readings today. We're doing a video response, but I would invite you to come back next week on Friday. I'll be doing live readings. Look at the death card. That one is so cool. It's a gorgeous deck. I didn't grab the guidebook. I should have grabbed the guidebook to kind of give you the example of what I mean with this deck, because it's just written in such a beautiful way. It opens up to a lot of like healing. Isn't that cool? This one is the Queen of Cups. So look at that, what's happening, right? The cup is capturing the tear that escapes out of the Queen's eye. All right. So I'll put this one away. This is the lovely Om. And this is the deck that I feel like opened my eyes to what I could be. There's a lot of troublemakers in the chat today. What the heck? All right. Now, we're gonna move on to prompt number 5. So this is the deck that dared me to live. This is a fun deck. The deck that dared me to live. This is the I Am the Artist Tarot. I feel like this is a creative deck. I have it in this cool orange bag because there's a lot of orange in this deck. This deck also has a lot of um, chakra associations here. And I'm just going to show you. I feel like you'll understand. Dared me to live. Okay. When I see this deck, like I immediately feel like it just makes me think that's odd, that's different, that's weird. Like the figures in here are odd. Like here you could see this bust, and then there's kind of like a body, but the body actually turned into a chair. So there's a lot of oddities in this deck. And then the colors, I felt like there's colors that I feel like that doesn't even go together. Why would they choose that? And then here, like the face is split down the middle in half in the lover's card. So there's a lot of weirdness in this deck. But I feel like when I work with this deck, I say that it dared me to live because it helped me to reframe how I was looking at these cards. Everything doesn't have to be matchy matchy. Everything doesn't have to make sense. That's the whole point. That is the whole idea behind imagination and creativity. And for someone like me, that's sometimes really hard to tap into. So for me, this deck really, really helps me. Hey, Constance, how are you? Yeah, this is an extra card. It's called the Angel. And it is called I Am the Artist. So it is meant to be a creative deck that kind of like helps you, like say that you wanted to do a spread or a reading on a creative matter, right? Maybe a project that you're working on or something that you're trying to develop. I feel like this deck is perfect for stuff like that because the artwork is just like far out there. Hi, Judith. How are you? Thanks for being here. Look at that sun card. Is that not like magnificent? This card is awesome. I love the artwork. And you know, when this deck came out at first, none of the characters had heads. All the heads were missing. And I remember seeing and thinking, what on earth? That is weird. I could never like read with a deck like that. And then like, I don't know, many years passed. I don't know if it was 20, but many years passed. And then she went back to the deck and she decided to recreate it and she added a lot of heads um to the deck. Look at the moon card. The dog and the wolf always remind me of those like cartoons. Like the crazy hyena. 6, 7. Bill. Let me explain to you. All right, so that is deck number 5. The deck that dared me to live. Okay, so I want to take a moment to say hi to my friend Bill. Now, the other day I posted a short from one of my videos, and in the video, Clint said we were talking about Desiree's line of work. She's an accountant. Hey, Eternal Light. And so Clint says, well, I don't know anything about accounting, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn once. And then she was like, what? And so he's like, you don't get it? Like the commercial. What commercial? So apparently back in the 80s, right? There was a commercial and that was the tagline, you know. So he in that short, Bill, he linked the commercial, so you can click on that link to see the original commercial. So then, you know, he explains the joke, but then because Desiree was so perplexed, I said 6, 7, which is something that I would say the youths, the younger generations, it's like I don't know, slang term. It derived from a song, and the kids say it all the time, and it's become really aggravating and annoying. And so I said that to Desiree, and I guess it's like, you know, 6, 7. It's like when you don't know a specific number, so you're guessing between two. Anyways, it's become this big thing, and Desiree is irked by it. So I responded 6, 7 to her, and that was it. That was the whole point. Popular culture or current event thing. So it's kind of like a mix of the commercial from the 80s plus the 6, 7, which is a reference to something that kids have been saying a lot lately. And I had never heard of it before until Desiree brought it to my attention because her kids are, you know, that age, like high school age. And they say it all the time, and there's memes and all kinds of things about it. And then, like, I feel like ever since she brought that to my attention, then I started to see it everywhere. I started to see it. Yeah, see, so Eternal Light says it's from a song. Yeah, and then it blew up into something like redonkulous. It's kind of like that girl that said all those things. Very demure. I just remember that part. I don't remember the whole thing, but then that blew up and like everybody was repeating it and it was pretty crazy. All right. So, where are we? We're going to move on to prompt number 6. So this is a deck that celebrates my biggest victories. My biggest victories. So for that one, I chose Sasarai Beetle. Sasarai Beetle because I love this deck. And I didn't always love this deck, let me tell you that. At first, I was taken by a lot of the images, and I had a lot of favorites, like this one, the 9 of Pentacles, like outstanding. I loved it. I loved the color. I loved a lot of things. But this deck had a lot of cards that I didn't get. I didn't understand. They were hard for me to read, hard for me to connect to. And so I was constantly back and forth with it. Like I wanted to connect with it, but there were a lot of cards that I didn't get. So I didn't use it as much. And then my kids, being the anime fans that they are, they're very into Asian culture and very aware. And so my daughter walks in the room and I showed her the cards that I was struggling with, and she was able to break each card down for me in a way that I could understand. And I was like, what? And so she helped me connect to the deck. And since then, it has become a workhorse. It is definitely a favorite. This is a deck that I use for career readings. Uh, and I absolutely adore it. I feel like this deck, you could use it for anything. Anything, anything. It doesn't matter the question. It could be love, it could be, family, it could be career, it could be whatever. But for me, one of my favorite ways to use it is for job related questions or career questions. That is how. And in fact, this deck was living on my work desk for a very long time. um, and right now I'm exploring with some other decks, so I don't have it at my table. But this will eventually go back to my work desk because this is what I use for those type of readings. So I say that this is a deck that celebrated my biggest victories is because of the fact that I use this for job and career readings. It has led me to make smarter choices, better choices for myself and for others at work. And so it really has helped me step into the right path when it comes to my career. So yeah, that is the Sasarai Beetle. Look at that card, Wheel of Fortune. It's so good. Amazing. So yeah, that is deck number 6, the deck that celebrates my biggest victories. Okay, what's happening here? Okay. Oh, Eternal Light says it's a reference to the Ice Age movie. Okay, the number 4. That's interesting. And it's funny because like the other day in a separate video, Desiree went live and she was talking about a book that she was reading and how it impacted her. And then in the middle of her story, she was talking about um, a cabinet or like a piece of furniture that she bought for her home, but it didn't fit in her home. But she was like thinking long term, right? Future. You ever do that? Like you see something and you love it and you know it's not going to work in your home, but you think to yourself, but later on, when I move into this other place, it will be spectacular. So that's what she did. She bought it. And then she had this realization that she hadn't moved after all this time and she likely wasn't going to move anytime soon, and so it was time to let go of the furniture. And she was trying to count back in her mind like how long it had been since she'd been living at her current place, and she was like 6 or 7 years ago. And then she caught herself 6, 7. Oh my gosh, I chuckled. I don't know if anybody else got that in the video, but I did because I know exactly what she was talking about. Oh my gosh. Let's see. We got last night. I posted it on YouTube. You got what? Snow. No way. Wow, a snowstorm. That must have been a surprise. Isn't it a little bit early? Wow. Bill, did you see Frosty the Snowman? Oh, Bill. All right, so let me see. We're on prompt number 7. The deck that taught me the importance of stillness. It's funny because this is exactly what that book that Desiree was reading was about. And she mentioned that she found herself reading this book about how to slow down in life, but she was speed reading through the book so she could get through it faster. And she's like, I'm speed reading a book that is meant to be teaching me how to slow down. And so this is the deck that I think of when I think about slowing down because for myself, I'm in Aries. So that's fire energy. And so of course I have this connection to fire, but I also am very drawn to water because I feel like water energy helps to calm my energy. But I spend a lot of time in here in my head and not enough time grounding. And so for me, a deck that helps me like come back into my body and find stillness is the Tarot of Strange Branches. This is a French deck and I ordered it from Amazon France and it's just awesome. This deck helps me feel connected not just to my body, but to Earth, to Mother Gaia, right? And I find it very soothing. And the guidebook is in French, but I used a little translator feature, and the book was so well written. I wish that they would like you know, republish it in English. But it's okay because when I read with this deck and I want to read the guidebook, I just use the Google Translate feature, and it works just fine. It's such an awesome deck. It's called Tarot of the Strange Branches. Now, that word is it could be translated into branches or antlers, which is why you see the figures with those like, you know, I guess branches or antlers growing from their head. Can you see that? That's why. Look at the Ace of Pentacles. That awesome well. I love it. It just reminds me, it just feels very comfy, cozy. I imagine like being in a cottage out in the middle of like the woods and being surrounded by nature and plants and maybe little fairy spirits. And I don't know. It's so cool. Look at this Nine of Cups. Isn't that awesome? This always reminds me of, that chocolate fountain where you dip your little pieces of fruit and cake. That's what that reminds me of. But yeah, this is the Tarot of Strange Branches, and this is the one that uh, reminds me how important it is to find stillness in our very busy, chaotic lives on a daily basis. Like, this is not something that, oh, I should find stillness once a week. No, like, we should try to find stillness every single day. Hi, Millie, how are you? It's good to see you. You're not driving today. Hi, Francine, how are you? Francine, I sent you a message on Instagram. Hopefully, you got it. All right, so let me pack up this one. And we're doing great for time. We've only been on for less than an hour, and we are on prompt number 8. So, for those of you that are just joining, this is a video response to Moonflower Moments, and this is hashtag my gratitude decks. And we're on prompt number 8. the deck that gave me more questions than answers. Oh my gosh, more questions than answers. I chose this one. This is my Shadowscapes. I love this deck. This deck is so beautiful. The color palette is incredible. The artwork is phenomenal. I feel like my only issue is that I wish they made a version of it that was bigger, like oracle card size, so that you can see, because you can see there's a lot of detail in this artwork. It's phenomenal. And the deck has a bunch of different themes across it. So there's a lot of mermaids in this deck. There's a lot of fae energy in this deck, a lot of mythical creatures. And this deck is one of those decks that, like takes me to a faraway place. I find it very easy to read with. The color palette is incredible. But this deck for me is a very chatty, like I call chatty Cathy. And this this particular deck has been through a lot, right? Because a friend of mine sent this to me from France. And unfortunately, on the way, the deck became water damaged. And so when I got the deck, I mean, it was practically destroyed. And I couldn't give up on it. I separated the cards one by one. I lost some of the artwork, some of the lettering came off. And then I let all the cards dry. And then I ironed all of the cards. And that worked for a lot of the cards, but it also destroyed some of the cards. Like this one here has like this massive air bubble. Do you see that? Because the iron was too hot. But anyways, like before all of this, the deck was this fat. Like it just was crazy. I never had a deck that you could take and just shuffle like this. Never. And this is not good for the deck, but it's because it's been through so much damage, you could totally shuffle it that way. But anywho, the deck had been through everything. I went through so much with this deck trying to bring it back to life. And then she became like a chatty Cathy. And so with this deck, we just have a conversation back and forth. And because of that, she often brings up a bunch of extra stuff that I'm like, but I wasn't talking about that. That's not what I asked you. I was just talking about this one simple thing. Why do we have to like jump into all these other realms? That's what happened to me. I've been carrying this deck around for the last 2 days, like an emotional support friend. And that's what she does. Beth, how are you? It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Look, I'm wearing my ring. I my what did you call it? Pillow. My pillow ring. See that? I got it on. I love this ring. Awesome. Okay, Tools of Fortune. Wow, you had a super chat button. How long ago did that happen? Um, maybe like 3 weeks ago, John. Bill. Maybe like 3 weeks ago that I got monetized on the channel. Not full monetization, partial, but it allowed me to turn on super stickers and super chats, and so that was pretty cool to be able to do that. And then I was able to. I have an online store, and I was able to connect the merch to my channel. So yeah, that was pretty exciting. It was pretty cool. It was a good moment. Hello, John. How are you? You've been busy uploading videos, my friend. Look at this card is like a met. Do you see that gigantic bubble? And I remember when I got this, my friend was like, just throw it away. Just throw it away and get another one. And I was like, no, I refuse. I refuse. Okay, so Karen Suki, are you still here? Because the creator of this deck, so this is Shadowscapes, and the creator of this deck is called Stephanie Puman Law. Puman Law. Anyways, she recently put out another deck. Now, Shadowscapes is like super old. Shadowscapes is a very old deck. 2010. The first printing was in 2010. Oh, Beth. Oh, thank you. How sweet. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I appreciate you. But Karen, what I was gonna tell you is she put out an animal deck recently. And so it's the same exact artwork, but it's all animals. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I know how you feel about animal decks. Beth, I love you. John, I got home in time to get to say hello. Is it me you're looking for? Hello, is it me you're looking for? I used to love that song. I loved his music videos too. I know. Judith, you've been to her channel before? Her jewelry is awesome. I'm wearing this ring too, Beth. I don't know if you remember this one, but as soon as I I think you said this tested for topaz, white topaz, and then it has like this like marcasite, I think it is, around it. And as soon as I put this ring on, I felt the energy like a laser going straight into my finger. It was pretty powerful. I always feel like because with these pieces of jewelry, um, they come from other places, right? From other people. And so you have to be mindful of that and make sure that you clear the energy and all those things, which I do with everything that I get. But I know Beth cleanses everything really well. And then when I get it home, I also cleanse. But like I'll use like sound clearing or selenite. I put it on a selenite tray, or some of my pieces that took a little bit longer, I put out in the sun and I let the sun energy do what it needed to do. And that's pretty much it. It was good. Millie, now you're hearing it. I know. Is it me you're looking for? I love that guy. All right, Francine, you got my message anytime after the show. Okay, so today I'm not sure what time I'm gonna be off here, and then tonight I'm gonna be on Truth Wave. So if you have time um, tomorrow or Sunday, let me know, and then we can sync up because I know you wanted to learn how to do some stuff. So that way it's easier if I could just show you. Okay. Yes, friends, make sure to drop your links so that everybody could follow each other because my friend Beth is awesome and amazing and she's been, you know how the algorithm is, it doesn't push out your content and she's been around the same number of subs for such a long time and it seems like ludicrous to me. It just does. Tomorrow. Okay, no problem. Working, yeah, tonight is a long night of cards. Oh, good. Yes, if you can, that would be awesome. But if you can't, Victor totally understands. Hi, Viviana. How are you? It's good to see you. All right. Where were we? Okay, so prompt number 9. The deck that taught me to notice the magic in the mundane. The magic in the mundane. So, Um, I, for this, wanted to choose a nature deck because for me, nothing is more magical than Mother Nature. So I am gonna be showing you my naturescapes. But before I show you, look at this. I keep it in this awesome bag. And look at that. It has that cool bumblebee charm. You see that? And then inside this bag, because I consider this like my adventure deck. My adventure deck. Inside, I keep this stone that my friend Amy gave me. I don't know what it is, but it's special to me. And then I keep this cube of moss agate. Isn't that cool? Oh, this moss, it feels so amazing every single time I hold this stone. It is so good. And then I keep these prayer beads, and these are also moss agate, right? And this has, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 stones on it, and then a charm. So I don't know if it's connected to any specific spiritual practice, but it's cool. So I have that one. I've been drawn to moss agate. I'm wearing my moss agate rosary today, and I'm like completely devastated because it got pinched and then I snapped the little cross off. So I gotta figure out how to do that. Anyways, and then I keep the amethyst pendulum in here. Isn't that cute? It's already activated this. It's already activated. So anyways, I keep all of this in here with this deck uh because this helps me to see the magic, because I feel like the magic is here right before our very eyes. We just don't realize because we're so busy living our crazy chaotic lives, worried about bills and finances and work and obligations and drama and relationships and all the other things that we lose sight of what is really important. So I feel like I wanted to make sure to use a nature deck for this prompt, because I do believe that we're surrounded by magic in our day-to-day life, just sitting outside in my, you don't have to go far. You don't have to go here to experience magic. I could go outside and sit on my swing and experience magic. Look at this card. It's just gorgeous. This deck is one of my favorite decks. I took this deck with me to Arizona when I went on my I don't want to say my find myself trip, but I went to Arizona by myself on like this, I don't know, this journey. And I had a fabulous time with myself, and this was the deck that I took, and it was incredible. Look at this. So, so cool. I mean, Mother Nature is like the ultimate. Nothing is more beautiful and more stunning. I mean, men, people in general, right, make some pretty amazing things, but the greatest architect, in my opinion, is Mother Nature. It's awesome. Let me see. Okay, Viviana, you had issues with your phone. Oh, is it okay now? I hope it's okay. Yeah, that's an Om symbol on that pendant. Mm-hmm. Millie, my moss agate bracelet broke. It was one of my first bracelet. I love moss agate. I know, me too. I keep a lot of moss agate because I do often need help with grounding. So I have the prayer beads, the cubes. I have a couple of stones. I have earrings. I don't know if I have a bracelet, but yeah, I absolutely adore it. Viviana, you have a pendant like that? Bill, you sub to a bunch of channels here. That's awesome. Yeah, we gotta help each other out, support each other. Karen, I have a gorgeous moss agate tower. Ooh, from Chloe's Crystals that has several druzy caves in it. Gorgeous. I don't have a moss agate tower, but I did pick up from Chloe. I picked up a garden quartz. Garden quartz. I felt like that was so unique. Let me grab it because I literally have it right here. It is so cool. It's dark, so it's hard for me to see. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. All right. Now, this one is my garden quartz. It does kind of look like moss agate to me. And it's hard to tell, but you could literally, like, there are sections that you could see through. Like right here, this is clear. You could see right through from one side to the other. This one is called garden quartz. So it's not moss agate, but it's pretty similar and it's pretty cool. I got that one from Chloe. Oh, let me see. Oh, yeah, yeah. What deck? Which deck is it? Okay, so this deck is called Naturescapes, and I got it on Make Playing Cards. And I was like so proud of myself because these are the card backs. And then I found the bag that matched. So yeah, I keep it all together here. It's perfect for exploring. I love this deck. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so Judith says moss agate, emotional balance, connection to nature, spiritual grounding, also associated with abundance, growth, and new beginnings, a stone for new friendships and love. Oh, I love that. Some traditions also credit it with physical healing properties, such as aiding pain relief and fighting dehydration. Well, that's interesting, right? I like that. Okay, hold on. I lost my here. Okay. So Bill says I went to Hawaii by myself for my 50th birthday and had the best time of my life. I'm telling you, like I was really just like pushing myself to do this solo travel thing. And I was petrified and exhilarated at the same time. It was incredible. I loved it. Okay, good, Viviana. Yeah, this deck is it's a treasure. It's on Make Playing Cards. We are happy to support your channel, Bill. The card of the mountains reminds me of BC, Canada. I know. I wish that I knew like where all of the pictures were taken because that would be cool. Awesome. Okay, garden course, but I need to find another one that speaks to me. Yeah. It's hard to do it online. It's better when you go in person. You're wearing moss agate color shirt. I know, because it was cold, so I had to put on my only flannel shirt. Even in Florida, one must have a flannel shirt. Beth, you love moss agate too? I know. It's so good. Yeah. Karen, you travel with a group usually, but on my own. Yeah. It's fun to travel with a group, but it's nice to go off and do your own thing and then maybe like meet up for dinner later at the end of the night or at the hotel or whatever. That's kind of nice. Okay, I know I should fix it myself. I'm so thirsty lately and those electrolytes taste. Yeah. I never traveled alone. It seems liberating. It really was. For me, it was like I could feel my heart racing in my chest from the moment I got onto the airplane. It was crazy. Yes, I agree, Viviana. Yeah, an adventure inside and then outside too. The weather there right now, it is 63 right now. 63. So that's not too terrible. Earlier this week, it did dip. We had a frost warning. I didn't realize because I don't know what's the matter with me. And then, like, all my neighbors went out and put, like, the blankets and all the things on their trees. And I didn't do it. And then I woke up and I was like, no, no, my mango, my avocado. Like, I have a mango tree in the back and an avocado, a pineapple tree or a pineapple plant in the front. I didn't think of any of those things and I don't even know. Oh, goodness gracious. It took me by surprise. Adding salt to water, I've heard of that. Yes, Desiree is having this drink in the morning now where she is adding salt in addition to a bunch of other things, but she's drinking it warm. If you travel by yourself, you make friends. That's so true. I met a lot of people on my trip. It was. And I climbed in Arizona. I think it was in Sedona. I did the Devil's, what do they call it? Devil's Peak or whatever. Devil's Climb or Devil's Rock or Devil's Bridge. Devil's Bridge. So I did that hike. I almost died, but I did it. And then I got to the top and I was like, oh, that's nice. And then I was about to leave. And then the people, like, I wasn't with them. They just happened to be there at the same time as me. They were like, where are you going? Aren't you going to go take a picture? And I was, no, that's okay. And they're like, no, go and we'll take your picture for you. So I was hyperventilating because I'm afraid of heights. But if it wasn't for them, I would have just like gotten to the top, snapped the photo, and then walked back. But they were like, no, you didn't come all this, you didn't just hike all this way just so you could turn around and leave. You got to do it. You're already here. So they pushed me. And they didn't even know me. And then they took photos for me. And now I have those photos for life. It was pretty cool. All right, so ascending universal butterfly, that's exactly what I do, and I meet such interesting people. Yeah, because you know what? Like energy attracts like energy. It's super cool. Okay, so Judith is going on a solo trip to Jamaica in 2 years. Ooh, oh, I know, because they were devastated by that storm. Yes. Wow, okay. So Bill says the thing about solo traveling is that there are no whining traveling partners wanting to go back to the hotel early. Yeah, you get to do whatever you want. You get to eat wherever you want and plan accordingly. And if you don't feel good, then you could rest or you could keep going if you want to without having to like alter your plans. Very true. Karen says my best BFF still is another woman traveling single, so we shared a room and we had the best time. We traveled again together several times plus visits. It's cool to have a travel buddy, especially if you both connect. Beth, you're not a fan of heights at all. Yeah, I know. And then on the way down, like I had this whole like spiritual experience and uh it took me forever to like pull myself back together again and make it down the hill. And I was so exhausted to go up that I couldn't fathom getting back down. And, like you think of those cartoons that you watch growing up, like Runner and all those things. And then, Wile E. Coyote and the eagles or, the vulture circling in the sky. And I was like, I'm going to die out here. No one's going to find me. But I made it. I made it back. It was intense. That was a very difficult hike, one that I was not prepared for. I don't think I realized how strenuous that hike was going to be. Judith, can I move in? Judith, it's cold. What do you mean? hmm Just to pick fresh fruit from the tree. Delicious. Oh, so good. Oh, I love it. Oh, wow, Millie. I was just reading your comment. Yes. So in a lot of other countries, yes, they carry rifles around like it's, like it's normal, it's natural. Beth, I'll have to share my story with you one day. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear that one. Viviana, I have never traveled alone. Would love to do it. I have to battle my exaggerated fear of random catastrophes. I feel like we create this like scary place and it's not as bad as, we think it's gonna be. That's funny. All right, so let's go on to prompt number 10. So this is a deck that encourages me to embrace levity, right? I had to think about this. So at the end, I went with this deck, Quiet Rebel Tarot, because I feel like this deck is quite humorous. And even the serious cards, it's like a little, I don't know, punchy, sarcastic. It's definitely a vibe. This is collage art, and even like the little like keywords at the bottom are like hilarious at times. Like the strength card says the beast whisperer. And I think that when I use this deck, every time I look at the images, it just makes me smile because it's just so goofy. Like here we have the magician and he's carrying a bag of tricks and the title is The Hustler. And I feel like that's a perfect way to think of that magician. It's a cool deck. Now I got this deck, the creator for this deck is in the UK. And she came out with the Oracle deck, and I fell in love with the Oracle deck. And so when she said she was working on the tarot, I said I have to have it too. So I ordered both. I ordered both and I have both. Now I haven't had a chance to like exactly read with this one yet, but I've been using it in the archetype series, and it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. She has a giant passport in her hands, the Three of Wands, and then the keyword is the Great Escape. And we were just talking about that. That's how we need to face it, like the Great Escape. It's good to take a break from our everyday life and do something a little bit different. My gosh, we need that. I think because we hear so many, like, horror stories, but, I think that with a little bit of research, you can choose a place that is, safe. And if you're smart and practical about the things that you're doing and how you travel and the times that you're choosing to go out, the activities that you're choosing to do, I think that women can travel solo and have a good time and enjoy themselves. I think it's sad that we sometimes feel fear to do that. Look at this card. This is the Ace of Cups, and it's called the Heart Opener, except that it's a can, and she has a can opener in her hands. I mean, it's just a goofy deck. Desiree, you're home. You've been listening? You heard me talking about you, Desiree? I've been talking about you. Look, here's Desiree's card, the Moon. It's called the Shadow Assassin. The Shadow Assassin. Desiree. That's for you, my friend. I'm glad you made it home. That is so cool. I love this deck. It's so fun. So, yeah, that is a deck that I feel helps me lighten the mood a little bit, embrace that levity. Awesome. Desiree. 6, 7. You got to do the little hand gesture. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. I told them the whole story. Well, you were here. I mean, at least you heard, right? All right. So we're on let me see, prompt number 11. This is a deck that shifted a practice. A deck that shifted a practice. So for this one, I chose two decks because I feel like both of these decks together helped me to shift one of my practices, which was my dream practice. And that is the Cosma Visions and my Dream Ritual Oracle deck. And so what I do is before I go to bed, I grab the dream ritual, I give it a shuffle, and I pull out a card. So here we have this card, Ego. Okay. So I set that aside, and then I come over here to the Cosma and I do the same thing. I focus like, okay, I have this card about the ego. I look at the artwork. There's a winding path, a moon in the center. There's trees, there's stars, but it's in the center, not in the sky. Some of the stars are scattered on the ground. The path is well lit close to the moon, but as you get further away from the moon, you don't see as well. And so I asked myself, what message do I need to hear with this ego card? And so out comes this card, soulmates, right? And if you could see, like these two decks, they just work together. They have the similar, very similar color palette, and just their messages align really, really well. And so then I would sit with these cards and kind of think about that. So I would get my book. I do this at night before bed because obviously I have a little bit more time. So I get the little book and I'm like, okay, ego. I go through. Now, this book I find a bit annoying because for some reason they did not put the cards in alphabetical order, which I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they did such a silly thing. So it makes it hard to actually find the words. I've been meaning to number the cards, and I forgot that I forgot I told myself I was doing that. So I have to add that to my list. And then, so give me a second while I find ego. Okay, so when I look it up in here, it tells me a little bit about the qualities of the card, the lunar power. It gives you a ritual in case you wanted to do a ritual. And then it tells you the nocturnal insight for that card. And so I read all of this. And then at the end, it gives you a mantra, which I love. So for this card, the mantra is, my dream sees me. My dream sees me. Okay. So I think about all of that and then I switch to the other deck. My dream sees me with the card of soulmates. So that's card number 6. That's kind of like the equivalent of the lover's card. So let me go there. And then I read about this card here. And it talks about duality, it talks about connection, and it talks, a lot of people talk about soulmates. And if you come on my channel when I'm doing live readings, a lot of people will ask me about their soulmate, right? And so what it says here, throughout many lives, our soulmates build us into who we are meant to be. Like a song on repeat, we encounter the same souls over and over again. And when this card shows up, it's asking us to take pause and reflect and appreciate the idea of this immortal connection. And so what I would do is I would reflect on this and I would reflect on this, and then as I'm drifting off to sleep, I will repeat the mantra to myself in the back of my mind, and then in the morning when I wake, I work on my dream recall and then I connect the dream to the cards. And that is my practice. And it wasn't always that way, but that is what I do with these two particular decks because I just felt called to do it. It just made sense to put them together. So for me, these two decks are the decks that shifted my practice when it comes to my dream work practice because most of my messages from my spirit team come into me while I'm sleeping. So that is a little bit of that. So now I'm gonna pack it up. Do any of you do dream work? Let me know. Do you have a dream work practice? Do you remember your dreams? Remembering your dreams is a process, and you have to, there's a lot of intention setting when you're trying to do that. Oh my gosh, okay, so let me see. There can be seen the winding path in the infinity sign. Yes, yes, exactly. And then here's Desiree. My hair gets stuck in my pants. I can't remember my dreams anymore. I've been dreaming a lot right now, uh, but I often do, and I go back and forth with training myself to wake up and record the dream because what I do is I sleep with the phone. When I wake up from a dream, I grab the phone, I voice record the dream, and then when I wake up in the morning, I go back to that. And sometimes it makes sense, other times it makes no sense. Sometimes I can't even understand what I was trying to say. Other times I'm like, what in the heck? So it just depends. It just depends. It's a lot of work and it's hard because then I wake up. When I'm in the flow, I wake up twice every night to record. I wake up in the middle of the night, usually around 2 or 3, and then right in the morning, like around 6 or 7, I record that morning message as well. Let me see. I work in my dreams. Does that count? Millie, that's called stress. That's called stress. Desiree, I used to be good at dreaming. I'm sure you're still good at it. You just don't remember because you're tired. To combat that, put your hair in a bun after washing it. Let it dry for like a day like that. It'll be straighter. That's what I do. My hair is also curly, fuzzy, wavy. Okay, so Millie, in Puerto Rico, we used to do this thing, like when you had hair like that, they used to call it el dubi, where they used to take it and wrap it around and put like bobby pins and then let it dry with the bag, and then it would dry straight as opposed to curly. I don't think I've seen somebody do a doobie in eons. That's like old school. Beth, you remember too much sometimes. I know, and some of my dreams are not like, a lot of times I dream things that I'm like, why would I have dreamt that? This makes no sense. But a lot of times I do feel like I'm recalling things that have either happened to me or to other souls. Sometimes I dream, and in the dream, I don't recognize any of the faces, but I recognize their energy. So, in meditation, when Victor always says, one day we're going to be able to feel each other's energy and know who's who, that already happens to me in my dreams. In my dream, I can sense whose energy is there. So it's pretty interesting. Francine, Okay, but when I do, I dream in color, and yes, I remember them. Yeah. Wait, what? She is 10. She chopped off part of the front. I had to finish cutting her hair. Your daughter did that? She tried to give herself bangs? You know, I blame TikTok. I blame TikTok because they make it seem like anything is possible. Oh, you just take the hair and you twist it and then you snip it and it comes out awesome. But that doesn't work for every single type of hair. Oh no. How is it now? It's short? Hey, me too. How are you? It's good to see you. Turtle Shell's daughter apparently gave herself a haircut and went a little overboard. Okay, Viviana, sometimes I remember sensations or impressions I got while dreaming. Yes, or sometimes an incident happens and it triggers, I dreamt this 3 nights ago. I've had that happen many, many times. My Cuban aunts and cousins do something like that with a hair wrap, yes. And they used to use like a can, like a soup can, to do the center part, to keep everything wound around the middle. It was pretty crazy. Of course, back then when I was growing up, I was like, oh, that's normal. That's what everybody does. But no, that's not what everybody does. Karen, I took a dream interpretation class. Oh, in college. Really? Oh, that sounds interesting. Oh, I love that. Did I freeze? Let me know. Okay. All of a sudden, it said that I didn't have enough memory. And I'm like, what? What is happening? All right. Let me see here. Okay, my daughter took scissors to her hair at 2 years old. I was devastated. I could just imagine. But thank God it was just hair and not something else. You know how dangerous? Oh my gosh, kids are too much. Mm-mm-mm. All right, Karen, I have a lot of dreams that happen on gray days, black and white, and one object. Oh, that would be so cool, Karen. You know they have color decks. You could explore the whole interpretation of the color. That is so awesome. It's short, cute, but a real hairdresser needs to trim it. Oh my gosh. Kids, they're too much. You have not found the deck by Stephanie. It was called the heck. Um Perdance. Perchance. Perdance. Something like that. I think I will get one. Oh, the watercolor teaching books. Yes, because you know the deck that I have comes with a full size guidebook that has full color illustrations and it's supposed to be stunning. I don't have it, but yeah, I think it would be awesome to have that. What is that deck called? Per dance? Per Stephanie. And oh, it's called the Verdance. The Verdance Tarot. It's called the Verdance. And then I will put it, where'd my little chat go? I lost my chat. There. I'll put it there for you. The Secret Language of Colors. I love that deck too, but there's another one on Make Playing Cards that I also love. That one has it's a color deck, but it's based on the tarot, and so it has tarot associations, but also the most incredible book that comes with that deck. I love that one. How can I dream more positive? Ooh. Okay, what is the reason of always losing my wallet, backpack? While looking for them, I'm in a new place and I can't figure how to get home. I'm tired of negative dreams. Yeah, I mean, that one is pretty straightforward. You know, it's like that feeling of being lost and not knowing what to do. Wow. Yes, you could try that, or like setting a dream intention before bed. The other thing that I have done before is like I get a glass of water, right? And then I speak my intention to the water. I repeat it, right? What's the magic number? 13? Whatever. Or 7? 7 is a great number. You repeat it. And then you drink it and you drink that intention and you could take that. Oh, you saw it? Yeah, it's a great deck. And that one is pretty new, Karen. All right, I digress. So, well, actually, we're on the last prompt. Okay, so it's number 12, the deck that jump-started a creative project. So, for me, it's Tarot of the Haunted House. I think it's just called Tarot of Haunted House. So those are the card backs. You can see there's a house on a cliff with the moon, and the card backs are reversible. And I love this deck. Basically, it's the story of a girl, and she's summoned to this house on a cliff, and it's haunted. And she gets there and she's petrified. And so the whole deck takes you through, like, here's like a scene from The Exorcist. There's a bunch of scenes, movie scenes in this deck as she goes through all these different experiences. And there's ghosts, and there's secret initiations, and vampires, and angels, and demons, and witches. And of course, the butler. The butler is the one I think that has all of the answers. This one is the hermit, right? The groundskeeper. But it's such a cool deck. And so what ended up happening when I got this deck, this is a low scarabeo deck, and it comes with one of those little white books. Except, Los Scarabeo, they translate that little white book into 4 languages. So really, there's only just like the teeny tiny number of pages, almost no information. So what I did was I took the entire book, so to speak, and I put it into the computer. And then the creator did a video series on the deck. So I watched every single video for the deck. And every time she mentioned something like, oh, in this card, like for example here, she was talking, remember that movie? I think it was called Ben, like with the rats. Like, and so she would drop these little nuggets about what she was thinking about when she was crazy. So I put all of that into um into the guidebook. And then I went through and I added like my own interpretation, like, oh, in this card, this is the hangman. In this card, there's a skeleton, and the skeleton is hidden behind a wall, but the wall has been exposed, and we realize how long the skeleton has been buried back there behind the wall. So I added all of that, and then I created this massive document. So it went from being like a handful of pages to, I think right now I'm up to 36 pages, my guidebook. I'm still working on it because it's a lot of work. And I'm completely done with the majors, and now I am working through like organizing it. So I have like a section that's a card description, then a section for symbolism, a section for keywords, and then like I try to like develop the story a little bit more. And so that is a project I didn't intend to do it, but when I got this deck, I felt like I had to. I love this so much. Do you remember this movie? Is it The Shining with the two twins? Hi, honey. How are you? Where are you? My darling Mizu, where are you? I love you too. Where are you, honey? Tell me everything. Did you finish your project? Are you on your way? What are you up to? You're at Walmart? That's wonderful. What are you doing over here on my live? There's the Eight of Swords. Okay, Karen. Oh, I see. Buying protein bars recommended by the brother. Okay. Karen, I don't know of a meditation for sleep, but Eckhart Tolle has a wonderful audiobook, Stillness Speaks. Karen, you know on YouTube, I forget the name. I have them saved in a playlist somewhere, but in YouTube, there's a guy, I don't remember his name. He has a British accent, and I like his sleep. Uh, it's not a meditation, but kind of. And what he does is they're affirmations, and he just gently says these affirmations in the background until you fall asleep. So I really like that one. And there's different ones, you know. This deck is so cool. Yeah, this deck totally inspired this crazy old project that I've been working on for the past, few weeks. But I told myself, like, I found myself the other day getting agitated because it was taking so long. And then I told myself, this is a project that you're doing for you. Like, why are you in a rush? Take your time and enjoy the process. The whole point is to enjoy the creative process. So I had to tell myself that, slow myself down just a little bit because there's no rush. I feel like if I rush and I hurry, then I could start something else. No, how about I enjoy what I'm doing right now and I'll get to the something else when I'm ready to get to the something else. Yeah, this is a very cool deck. I love this deck. Tarot of Haunted House. It's awesome. So yeah, this was the final prompt, the deck that jump-started a creative project. Desiree says, yes, Elizabeth, be present and enjoy. I shall be present. Ah, I shall be present. You are right. And that was it. That was my last one. That was my last one, you guys. So, okay, Francine, I like Stephen Dalton, the Irish storyteller. Ooh, that's cool too. Yeah, I can't remember the name of my guy. My guy, like he's mine, but I like his meditations because I feel like I go to sleep listening to something positive. Another big thing, and I don't know if you do this already, is to try to stop looking at your phone or your device an hour before bed to give your mind time to wind down. Yeah, awesome. Well, my beautiful darlings, that concludes my video response to Moonflower Moments, hashtag my gratitude decks. And so in closing, I'm happy to pull a card for anyone that would like before we close out. If you would like a card, I have an oracle deck handy here. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh my God, Francine, that's so funny. Sometimes we need to slow down so we can go faster. Oh, that's a good idea. If you find the channel, link it in the comments. That way, when people go back, they can try to find it. And I'll do the same. When I'll look up the guy whose meditation that I listen to, and I'll put it in the comments as well, so you can find it easier. Awesome. You're right. So let me see. Okay. Karen Suki. Karen, so you would like a card. Judith would like a card. Beth would like a card. Okay. Viviana. Viviana, you're always welcome here. A good shower and yummy. Ooh, wine sounds like a great idea. No, because I have to go on meditation later, and then if I close my eyes, I'll fall asleep. I'll fall asleep, you guys. All right. So let me see. All right, first person, Karen Suki. We'll start with you, my dear. I'm pulling from my cemetery oracle. The card flew out by itself. Oh, blessings, blessings. So, Karen Suki, maybe what you need to do is call in angel energy before bed. Call in your blessings. So that was for Karen Suki. Okay. And then Judith, a card for Judith. Clint, you are too much. How are you, my friend? You know, Bill came in earlier and he was like, I don't get it. I don't get the whole Holiday Inn thing. I was like, Bill, goodness gracious. I said, he left the link in the description box. You could check it out. Trouble just walked in. All right, Judith Anderson. Judith, were you the one saying that you were having a hard time going to sleep and the dreams? Who said that? Okay. The card that came out for you is this one, tension. So, to me, that's like you have a lot of tension, and so you have to try to find a way to like release some of that and let it go before bed. So, could you possibly do like a yoga practice before bed? Like, is that possible for you? Make some stretches. There's a girl that I like on YouTube, and she does a nighttime practice, and it's only like 10 minutes. It's not long. And it's just stretches that help you prepare yourself for bed. So I can link that in the comments if you want. Okay. All right. So that was Judith. So I read for Judith and for who did I read for? Judith and Karen. Okay. Karen and Judith and okay, Beth. A card for Beth. All right, Miss Beth. Playing a card for you. Card for Beth. Ooh. Oh, this is a hard card. Remorse. Could this be related to your daughter's recent hair trim? Or is there something else going on? Let me know. John. Ta-da. Yes, it is card pull night on Truth Wave. Desi, you want a card? I will get you as soon as I'm done with Beth. Moonwalks in the live with broccoli and goodish intentions. Good. I thank my angel and guides frequently. I mean, not thank them, I mean invite them into your dream. Invite them into your dream. I've done that before. Like I've asked Archangel Michael to come into my dreams. Um, where's trouble? I got some broccoli for him. That'll get him right. Not sure. It's been a crazy week for sure. Okay, so Beth, then I'm gonna pull one more card just in case. Remorse. Oh, interesting. So we got this card, synchronicity. Synchronicity. I feel like you are that type of person that will be paying attention or looking out for little synchronicities. So I wonder if there's a synchronicity that is tied to that experience with your daughter. The remorse could maybe not be yours, it could be hers too. A combination. But there's a synchronicity there. There's a synchronicity there. Okay. So let me pull for Desiree and Viviana. Yeah, I can pull one for you. Hold on. All right. Okay, so for Desiree, for my lovely Desiree, Desiree. Desiree, isolation. You've been in isolation for too long. It's time to flow. It's time to flow, my friend. That is for you, Desiree. And then we have Viviana. Okay. I'm trying to age into fine wine. Oh my goodness gracious. I try to do a little meditation before sleeping. After that, I listen to the sound of water. Ooh, that's peaceful. You know, I use the Aurora Borealis, and that helps me too. You're welcome, Beth. You're welcome. Beth, if you discover what the synchronicity is, let me know, because that would be cool. Viviana, is there something going on for you that is making you feel down? Like a negative situation or a situation that feels like hopeless? Don't age like milk. Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah? Because that's the card that came out, hopelessness. Hopelessness and also avoidance. So if there is something going on and you're feeling that feeling of hopelessness, like whatever the situation is, try not to avoid it. Try to, face it head on. Try to face it head on because you're not alone in this. Yeah. So sad is what's come up and unsure. All right. So for me, this means like it would be good if you had like a full reading. For me, that means it'd be good for you to have a full reading. So, I think it has to do with the guilt I've been harboring that I feel like I have let my daughter down. She and I have issues being on the same page a lot, and I feel like I have let her down. It's so hard, Beth. because a lot of times with kids at those ages, like we don't always see eye to eye, and the things that are important to us are not important to them, and vice versa. So it's really, really hard, but I don't know, is she open to conversation about it? Like, is it the type of thing where maybe you could invite her out of the house, like take her out of her comfort zone and invite her somewhere out, something different that you don't normally do? Like, it could be just an ice cream cone, just you and her, or a yogurt, just you and her, or something like that, and just open it up and see. I feel like when my kids were younger, I would get the best conversations out of them when I took them alone, like one on one. I feel like my son would open up, and it didn't take, sometimes I would be like, "Oh, I want to walk around the block, but I don't want to go by myself. Will you come?" And then he would come, and then I don't know, like the block is 1 mile. So a quarter of a mile in, he would already be telling me his whole life story. So, it could be that. Yes, and as parents, it's like we're conditioned to feel guilt. We're conditioned to feel guilt. It's like super, super hard. But the truth is that we're just doing the best that we can. You know, we're doing the best that we can. Okay, so Viviana, if you have something going on and you need a reading, just let me know. And then of course I'll be back on Friday and I can put you on the list for the reading, okay? She just doesn't listen to me and trying to get on the same page. Yeah, you're welcome, Beth. Hang in there. You're doing the best that you can. Sometimes it's hard, right? Because we feel guilty because we're gone at work all day. And then we have other things going on. Like, for example, for you, you have your side hustle, you have your jewelry business. So that also takes up a lot of time. And so you start to feel bad that you're not giving them that time and attention. But it's important for everybody to have time for themselves as well as time for the family. And if I remember correctly, you stopped doing lives on Sunday so that you could have this family time together. So, she's 10. So that could be hormones. That could be hormones that her body is developing, and maybe that, maybe she's going to start a cycle soon. If they are teens, my dad used to advise just keep them alive. I feel like if you take the time to just do something alone, like separate from the other kids, just the two of you, then that will make a difference. That will make an impact. She's such a chatterbox too. They're so energetic at that age. They have so many ideas and, they're so smart. Too smart for their own good. All right. Did I miss anybody? Please let me know because I think I got everybody that asked for a card, but I don't know if I got everybody that asked for a card. Yes. They would never leave the nest. I feel like mine will never leave the nest. Mine are gonna stay here. Time alone with each one. Yes. And my kids always say that. My son, especially, like he never wants to do anything, but then when we're out together doing something and it's just us, he always says that. This is so nice. This is so nice, Mom. We should do this more often, Mom. We should spend more time. And like he'll always say that. But like when you suggest it, they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. But then when you do it, then they like it. It's really weird. Viviana, yours never left. Oh no. It's really hard in today's day and age because our economy doesn't make it easy for kids to leave the nest and branch out and do their own thing. It's too hard. I don't even know. Like, I don't think my son would be able to manage on his own financially. Like, it would be impossible. Just his, um, the car payment and the insurance payment alone, like that's it. Like he's always strapped. So it makes things really, really hard right now. Yeah, all of Desi's are teens. Yep. Wow. Yeah, very, very difficult for them. Very difficult. This was fun. It was relaxing. I like doing VRs because they're just kind of peaceful and relaxing. And then that way I'll go to Truth Wave later tonight and I'll be energized. Next week I'll come back and we'll do readings again because that's always fun. But yeah, I think, let me see. Economically speaking, in today's world, we need more extended family living like the Waltons. Mm-hmm. All right, Beth. Take care and have a good night. Mine is now 30, and I still had a lot of guilt on how I handled things when she was younger, and it eats me up now. We do the best we can with that. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Sometimes I have like moments, where you're like wallowing in old memories, and you know, you might break down, you might cry, but then the kids are like, Mom, you did the best that you could, and we're fine. Everything is fine. Why are you so upset right now? So, yeah, it's hard. I know this is my favorite thing to do. Honestly, I love coming here and just hanging out and sharing stories and being, offering support to each other. I love that. That reminds me of that lady, Anna. She hasn't come in. So now I'm not sure if, whatever happens with her and her kids that were in the hospital. Like I don't know. I don't know. I hope she is okay. I hope she's okay. But all right, you guys. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you coming in and hanging out and sharing space and watching me talk about all my decks. You probably get sick and tired of hearing me go on and on about my decks, but I love them. I love the art. And I like to spend time with them and I like to spend time with you. So I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and have a good night. And if you're coming later on to Truth Wave, I will see you there. Alrighty.